Welcome back to this Rift Let's Play. You're Sambo, Seraphis, and joining us, as always, is the fiery Tallahassee. Good lord, man, what on earth are you doing, and how are you this evening? Everything you do looks like fire.
I'm good.
Is that what? How come? It does. It doesn't normally look as... Yeah, look at that. Is that because of the lighting in this zone, maybe, perhaps?
No. It always looks like that.
Oh, okay, I've just never noticed it looking quite so flamey. And by the way, welcome to you guys watching from home as well. Nice to have you along. And of course, if you watched us in the last episode, you'll know that we made our way here to Rock Ridge. And of course, you can see in the background, the theme here is a fire. That's right, we've had earth, we've had wind, and now it's fire for the Funkadelic trifecta. You know what I'm talking about, right, Tallahassee?
A band called Earth, Wind and Fire.
Woo! Alright, Tallahassee earns 100 internet points there. You're dead right. But here we are in this very fiery zone. Of course, we have a look at our map now. You can see that we've got to go down there and free captured Rock Ridge citizens. That's what we're up to now. Now, I've got a funny feeling that those Rock Ridge citizens were... there were some green mobs hanging around the last time we were down here. They were sort of surrounded by imps. Would that be them?
That's them.
Yeah, there we go. See, my powers of observation are keen. Mostly.
Sure.
You can hear the confidence in Tallahassee's voice there.
Oh yeah, I'm confident you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, I'd like to disagree with you, but we all know after, what are we up to, like 55, 56 episodes, I think that we've sort of rammed that message home quite clearly, all on my own. Made it a very loud and clear message that I am, well, I find it difficult to multitask. An idiot. Well, you know, I wasn't quite going to go there, but, you know, Tallahassee
Simple.
calls it as it is, so I can't disagree. Oh, now, tell you something I do want to disagree about. And folks, I'm not sure when this episode goes to air, so it's probably a little bit afterwards. But today was a very interesting day. And Tallahassee, you're a Apple iPhone user, aren't you?
I am, much to my disgust.
Oh, hang on. So this could turn into another George Lucas conversation, perhaps, because I'm also a Apple iPhone user, and I'm quite happy with my Apple iPhone 4. But of course, today was going to be a very big day. We were waiting for this big news because everyone was thinking that the iPhone 5 was going to be released. Did you think that the 5 was going to be released, by the way, mate?
I honestly didn't give a shit one way or another.
Yeah, okay, well that answers that question. Some of us, I think, were looking forward to the fact that the 5 would be released, and what it turned out to be was, in my opinion, the biggest disappointment ever, because it was a blimmin' iPhone 4S, i.e. just the stopgap phone, which really annoys me because it's just Apple cashing in on, you know, crazy consumers who will just line up and buy anything, if you ask me, when it comes to Apple. But I really was annoyed at them because I think the 4S is a horrible idea, and I think it's really nasty as well, because you think of all the people that are going to rush out and buy an iPhone 4S that can't afford the luxury of buying it outright. Okay, so they're having to put it on what, a 2-year contract or something like that. Within that 2-year period, and I reckon within maybe 8 months or so, you know what Apple are going to do, don't you?
Yeah, they're going to release a new version.
Yeah, i.e. the 5. And I reckon that every single person that buys a 4S is just going to go, oh man, that sucks. That really sucks. Oh, but anyway, it was very interesting seeing the reaction.
And you know what? Serves them right.
Well, you know what? I absolutely agree with you. I caution you out there, if you've been waiting holding off for an iPhone 5, I highly suggest you do the same thing, the very same thing, which is hold off for an iPhone 5, by the way. Now we'll stop talking about Apple for a minute. What's going on here? How come they've all got quests? Are they the actual mobs that we need to interact with for this quest, perhaps?
No, they're just other people.
Alright, so they actually have got another 3 quests for us.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Alright, who we got here? The councillors. Hello.
Hello.
Collect the portrait of Lydia Rowe. And collect Gwyn Finley's doll. Seriously? You can't go there and grab it yourself? And collect Palm's Posy. What is with... You know, it's funny, I was thinking about this the other day. What is it with these NPCs in towns, in MMOs, who, for some reason, are incapacitated to the point where they can't walk 10 metres around the corner and go get the thing that they're looking for? Are they all just lazy? What's going on?
Yeah, modern society's made people, just lazy and incompetent.
Yes, let's blame Facebook,
That's
actually.
all that it is.
Let's blame Facebook.
Well, actually, I did read a study that said that social media is making us more stupid.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree.
I agree as well. I totally agree. Mind you, I guess at the
Because
end...
I know you're all over social media, and I know that you're an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, if only I could bet that one back.
I'm just gonna check in.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's an interesting experiment. There's no doubt about that. Although there's been a real movement. Oh, sorry, I've sent Slim away to. I right-clicked on that smouldering thing over there, and unfortunately, Slim's going nuts. I read there's this real movement going on at the moment about Facebook because apparently there's some big changes coming up to Facebook, and I must admit I'm not 100% across them.
Because it's now going to include all of your porno in your feed?
Well, I think it's similar to that, where something to do with the timeline, and I don't quite know what it is exactly, but what do we have to do? How do we free these citizens? Oh, we are, by killing the mob. Right, okay. Yeah, something to do with the timeline. Anyway, all the sort of, people who wax philosophical about such meta topics on their uber cool blogs, etc., are all going on and on about, they're posting around instructions on how to actually delete Facebook, how to back it up and get Facebook to send you all your data, and then to actually delete everything and, break up with Facebook effectively. Not just deactivate it, but actually get rid of it. And it's just everywhere, and everyone seems to be actually, anyone who's cool, hipster, meta cool, if you know what I mean, seems to be saying, hey, you need to break up with Facebook because the world is going to end as you know it very soon, apparently. So that's an interesting one. Not sure exactly what this timeline thing is and why it's so evil. Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, I know the privacy issues that they were having.
Yeah, although Facebook, you know what, they always seem to be having privacy issues. Always. But
well, apparently it wasn't logging itself out.
Really?
So you would log out and the cookie would modify itself to still track what's going on.
Whoa. So they were still collecting stuff even though you'd effectively told them that they can't anymore by, performing the act of logging out. God, they're sneaky, aren't they? They just get away with blue murder. Seriously. So shocking. I mean...
Yep, and as I was saying, all the people were complaining that the porn sites that they were visiting were showing up in their timelines.
Whoa. Okay, so that's an interesting one. That's really bad, isn't it?
It is. That's pretty shit house, to be honest.
Yeah, because let's face it, what we all do in our own spare time, as long as it's legal, of course, is our own business. And unless you're being told explicitly that, all of this is actually going to show up in a timeline, that's going to be just a tad embarrassing for a number of people. And of course, it's absolutely believable because, of course, every second site you go to, I go to a site and I'll see my name on the site next to a Facebook button because, I just happen to be logged into Facebook, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Sambo, welcome to this site. Nice to see you here. And hey, do you want to comment? And, we've got all your details. Thanks very much. And I'm thinking, well, hang on. I don't necessarily want you to know that I'm here. Thanks very much. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of it was that, but a lot of it was, how can I put it? It was, you didn't even need that there. It was just going to know where you'd been and then post it.
Oh, okay, that's even worse. That's nasty. That's very nasty.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to shithouse, that's pretty shithouse.
Yep. I think at
I
the
have
end
another
of the...
word that I'd really like to use in this situation, but Sambo won't let me swear like that on the Let's Play.
No, I know the word you're talking about, and that's probably how I would describe... what's his name from Facebook? Zuckerberg or whatever his name is?
But don't say that, because he will sue you.
Oh, well, he's Zoidberg. Or is that, that's, what's that cartoon?
That's from Futurama.
Yeah, same diff.
Look at me, Zoidberg.
Yep.
Homeowner.
Well, they're both slimy, if you ask me. But look, this is what you get, I think, from, having the world's largest, most influential site run by a kid, basically. And a pompous git kid at that. Like, I'm sounding like, old man Rafters from the amusement park or something, something from a Scooby-Doo episode
Old
or
man
whatever.
Sambo.
Yeah, old man Sambo, get off my lawn type thing. But seriously, what is this bloody place, what's the world come to? Seriously. And this is the other thing that gets me, by the way, seeing as we're having a ranty episode, is people that complain about their privacy. Now, I actually don't complain about my privacy because I tend to go into things pretty much wide open. And as you rightly stated, Tallahassee, I'm right out there in terms of, social media, yep, I'll plaster myself all over it. Do you think that I have any expectations of maintaining anything privately? No, of course not, because, you plaster yourself all over the place and you're basically going to create a trail. Now, what bugs me is that people who do the same thing then start complaining about their privacy. It's like, well, look at what you're doing in the first place. You're posting on every single site, every single one of your moves. Here, hey, I'm here having breakfast. Oh, I've just been to the toilet. I'm going to sleep with my daughter, whose name is blah, and she's this old. Here's her birthday, and by the way, she goes to this kindergarten, and here's all my personal information so that you guys can put 2 and 2 together, general public, and figure out exactly who I am and where I am. And, boo-hoo, I'm complaining about it. Like, it just seems like the ultimate in hypocrisy to me. I don't know, what do you think? Because you tend to shy away from the old social media a bit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of social media. I don't have Twitter. I'm very rarely on Facebook. The only thing I really maintain is my Tumblr, which, for the most part, is private.
Yeah, right. Now,
I mean, it's still a publicly viewable page, but you don't see anything of me on there aside from, the occasional rambling.
Yeah. And hang on 1 second while Rift has gone to 1 frame per second again. Alright, and we're back, folks. Sorry about that. Not sure whether that was Rift and the patch or whether it was good old Vista. Tallahassee, I know what you'd think. I'd imagine you'll be blaming Vista on that one, and I wouldn't blame you. Alright, looks like we've done our questing, and we've got a hand-in over there. Where is it? Where is that hand-in? It's in the, it's in the buildings. Yeah. So anyhow, Tallahassee, you were saying before we were rudely interrupted once again by Rift misbehaving itself, that, yeah, you don't tend to smatter yourself all over the social media side of things. Now, just out of curiosity, oh, come on, Rift, what are you doing? Come on, it's hanging in there by a thread. There we go. Aside from the, the jokes of, that we always sort of bat towards each other in terms of, being hipster and all the rest of it, what would you say is your number one reason for sort of tending to shy away from the social media stuff, apart from any sort of anti-establishment reasons? Is it mainly the privacy issues?
I just don't like people.
Oh, that's the best answer ever. I was waiting for something that along the lines of, I just don't like people knowing stuff about me that, you know, that they don't have to. But no, folks, there you go. That is Tallahassee down to a
like
T.
People.
I just don't like people.
I don't like, you know, it's... I know you didn't watch all of Zombieland, but there's a great line in there. It's, you know, about Facebook.
Is there?
Yeah, it's about some guy gearing up for Fridays. I don't really give a shit what people are doing. You know, if they're blowing a goat, good for them. I don't care. I don't need to know. I have no interest in finding out about their lives. They can do whatever the hell.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too boils down to how you actually use the media yourself, you know. I mean, there are a number of what I would call responsible social media users out there, and they're the ones I tend to follow. In other words, what's this? Make up your own mind. Free the mind-controlled citizens. Oh, and I saw you got that as well, Tallahassee. Grats. There we go, in the guild there saying congratulations. Oops, congratulations. Say thanks. There we go. And we'll accept that new quest. What's that going to send us off doing? Return to Peter Naran in Granitedust Gulch. So I guess that's our next task. There we go. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I think that there are responsible users, if you like, in that, you know, I tend to follow the ones that, you know, they just don't tweet to kind of note themselves. They actually tweet interesting anecdotes or funnies or, you know, some news or whatever, rather than, you know, every 5 seconds.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, look, I must admit
Nothing can be that important.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you know, technically speaking, you're correct. But some people just go nuts. It's basically this spam fest of, you know, look how amazing I am at every little thing that I'm doing, sort of thing. You know, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just this generation.
But that's the thing. That's society today.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Everything's, look what I'm doing. Look how good I am. Yada yada yada. It's just a load of bullshit, and I couldn't really give a toss about what people are doing.
Yep. I mean, again, while I certainly partake in the old social media, I do agree with you 100% on that one. And the world seems to have gone mad sometimes. Seriously does. As has Vista again.
See, my thing is, people get told that they're special and whatnot, and then they start to believe it when they're not. They're just the same piece of shit as everyone else.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun.
Welcome to Tallahassee Worldview.
Well, the thing is, it's interesting, on the radio the other day, they were having a debate because there was a, you know, like at school, when your kids are at school, or you're at school, if you cast your mind back, and you have like a sports day, for example. So, you know, like a mini athletics or something like that, or a school Olympics, or, you know what I mean, right? Like just a field day, and you all compete.
Yeah.
A lot of schools, now this, of course, folks, may not be the same for you. I don't know where you're listening from, of course. It may not be the same in the US or the EU. But over here, a lot of schools are starting to cancel those days because of, quote, the trauma of competition. Now, I'll repeat that. Competition causes trauma, and they don't want, you know, any one child to be perceived as better than another, because it may cause issues in the children that don't win. All I could think of when I was listening to this debate and listening to what these schools are doing... You know what's going to happen? Yeah, well, they get out into the real world,
They're going to get out into the real world. Yeah. They are going to be so fucked.
Yeah, they are.
They are going to be so fucked.
And I absolutely agree with you, because, and that's a major issue, because these kids are going to, you know, go through school, being sort of wrapped in cotton wool.
May the gods bless you.
The reality is, as soon as you get out, and they start to either say, let's say, go for a job interview. What are you going to do at a job interview? Oh, yep, everyone's got the job because we don't want to traumatize someone, by saying you haven't got the job. What happens the first time these kids don't get a job? They're going to break down. They're not going to be able to handle the rejection. They've never had to deal with it all throughout their school life. And then all of a sudden it's like, bang, I just can't believe this sort of stuff goes on. I honestly can't. By the way, we picking up this repeatable or not?
Yeah, you got to pick that up. That's sort of the end of the quest line.
Oh,
around
okay,
here.
radio. Oh, seal the fire rift. Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we got time to do that.
What do we got? About 8.5 minutes left. Is there a fire rift still up? Oh, there is.
Yeah, it's still there. It's a big story rift, so it's all like elites and stuff.
Oh, let's give it a go. Although, whenever I seem to go back into this zone, my Vista starts going at 1 frames per second, so it does make me think, and there we are, it's come back now, that it's got something to do with the optimization in this zone again. Something definitely to do with the zone. And I know that's exacerbated by Vista, but it's really noticeable, always in the same spot here, which makes me wonder.
I've got a feeling it's probably because of the effects in the zone as well.
Yeah, so it's really taxing the old computer more than other areas, and that's when it sort of tips it over the edge, I guess.
Well, yeah, I'm guessing that's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because you've always got that rift going in the background.
Yeah. It's damn annoying, I must say. And apologies to you guys watching at home as well. Alright, there we go. Look at that though. Doesn't that look magnificent? It's been a while since we've oohed and ahed about the wonderful scenery in Rift, and of course after so many episodes, 55, 56 episodes, you start to kind of take it for granted a little bit, which is a shame. So we must stop and smell the roses every now and then, remind ourselves of course that this is just an utterly fantastic game with so much content and so much wonderfully designed content in zones. You can see here that Tallahassee has invited another player here, so that's going to make our life a lot easier in terms of trying to seal this rift.
Yeah, they're actually a guild member as well, buddy.
Oh, are they? I wasn't even looking. Oh, look at that. Hello, hello. Got a bit of a wave, and hello to Elvithrandil. There we go, I think I said that right. Big hello to you, big shout out. And of course, once again, reminding you guys at home, if you'd like to come and join our wonderful guild, you don't have to be an Australian, even though we're on the Oceanic server, and we are effectively an Oceanic guild, but we welcome our EU and US counterparts with open arms. And of course, at the end of the day, the data center is actually housed in the US anyway, so you don't think that you're going to get high pings by coming and playing on our server here, Lathis, because it's all part of the same thing.
I was going to say, it's in Texas.
Yeah. So we're all in the same boat, and in fact, ironically, it's us here in Australia on our Australian Oceanic server that will actually have a worse ping than you if you're in the US. So there you go. Ultimate irony, I guess. Now, look, this class here, what are we talking here? We're talking about a support rogue, and you can see we've got these musical notes appearing over our head, and he's got a guitar.
Yeah, it's bard.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a bard? Because look at that, he's got his guitar, and he's streaming out the music there. Now, the only other game that I know of that I've...
Bards are friggin' awesome.
Yeah, this is fantastic. We're getting buffed to the wazoo here, which is absolutely great. And then once again, our big thanks to Elvithrandil, who is, by the way, level 27. So it's not like we're getting supported by a big overpowered guild member or anything like that. But the only other game that I've come across that has sort of these bard abilities and note effects is actually Lord of the Rings Online. It's the only one. You don't see too many bards in modern games, that's for sure. Of course, you see them a lot in games like EverQuest, EverQuest 2, Dark Age of Camelot, all the traditional games, but never really tend to see them in modern ones, do you?
No, not generally.
And of course, don't get confused with, they're not actually a healer so to speak. People quite often think that a bard is just another name for a priest or something like that. Bard generally are, exactly like Tallahassee said, support classes more than anything. So they'll buff you up and possibly remove some bad debuffs on you, etc., etc. It's a great class to
Which is exactly
have.
what they do in Rift.
Oh,
they
there you
are
go.
Fantastic.
Great. So they'd be really, really handy in raids, of course, I'd imagine.
Yep. So we typically run with one bard, if I remember right.
And that's
and
enough,
then,
is it?
yeah, we got Koros. Yeah, because you got a mix of Choromancer as well, which is another buffing class.
Ah, okay.
Or it's Choromancer and Archon.
Oh, yes, Archon, right. Alright, now, we're doing quite well, it would seem. What stage are we up to now? 4. Now, that's a nasty-looking mob there. Lex Grud. Good lord. That's awesome, though, isn't it? Look how shiny he is. Fantastic-looking armour there. And he disabled me then. Did he disable you too? That knockback seemed to take out all of my skills.
Yep. Got a little bit out.
Yeah. Now folks, what I really want to do here is put Nature's Touch, of course, up. Nature's Touch being the one that causes Lifebound Veil to trigger an additional heal on our allies as well. And there we go, he is down. Doing, excuse me, doing very well for the three of us. Of course we have our awesome tank Tallahassee and of course the great support here from Elvithrindil. Thank you once again. So there were 2 bosses basically. Yikes. Alright, here we are up to stage 5. Okay, this could start getting hairy, I'd imagine.
No, not really.
No? So what stage will we have to
We've
clear
got enough of this.
in order to seal the rift?
This should be the last one.
Okay.
I'm trying not to pull everything again.
Yep, doing well. Doing very well. Actually, I think it's more the case that I'll try not to pull everything. I think I'm actually behaving myself very well. It's the first time for everything, right?
I didn't want to say anything. Might jinx it.
Yeah, that's true. Right, we'll apply that Nature's Touch again, folks, and also our Entropic Veil, which of course amplifies our DPS effectively by 20%. And as always, you can see the green combat text scrolling up there, streaming off. That's all our heals from Lifebound Veil. And there we go. Look at that, Lord of Suffering. We get ourselves an achievement. Defeat Utheredge and save Rock Ridge. And look at that, we have done it. Congratulations to us, get ourselves an achievement and also complete that quest. And look at that, we get a cracked Dragonian scale there. And of course our Planerite. So that is fantastic. And big thanks of course to our guildmate as well. Thank you. Whoops, how do we thank? There we go. All done. Alright, so that's perfect timing. Look at that, 1 second left on the clock. We've done well. Where do we go to hand in? Back up here, I presume.
Yep, back to where we came from.
Good stuff. Well, that was a nice lot of days' work, if you like. Managed to pile through a bunch of quests, get ourselves a couple of achievements, and save Talara once again by sealing that great big fire rift. So, like you say, mate, I guess that's kind of a big part of the storyline of the zone, I guess.
You can just keep running if you want.
Alright, let's try that.
So we are going to have to kill this guy.
Yikes, yeah. Right, and you can see, of course, the lighting changed dramatically there, guys, as we get out of the fire rift zone. And in fact, it's interesting. It's sort of okay. So they must be using sort of technology similar to phasing in WoW, because the entire zone now has actually lost that red glow, and I guess that's because, as far as the storyline's concerned, we've actually disabled the rift. So I guess, yeah, it's not casting its red glow over everything anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's very cool.
And everyone's dead.
No! No! As Darth Vader would say. Oh, can you believe it?
Oh, sorry. The general goods vendor was still alive.
Oh, yep. Oh no, and look, they've just come back. They've just come back. There we go. Good timing.
And I get some nice gloves out of it.
Oh, really? Do we? Let's have a look. Where's the old hand in? Here we go.
Hello.
Oh, so do I. Some very nice gloves. Way better than what I had, in fact. There we go. Quest complete. Let's put on the new gloves. Go sell off the old ones. Check our loot, of course. Here we go, our planerite from the Rift. But I must say, I'm very impressed by... oh, what's that? No, we'll get rid of that as well. And, oh, I've got some item that offers a quest in my bags as well. Oh, and that's a hand in here.
Well, what item was it?
It was a book.
Good to see you.
Oh, thank God.
Live gloriously.
There we go. So yeah, once again, folks, we have a look back out over there. If you simply want to rewind the YouTube video, you'll notice that the entire zone was, well, it was this color. As we go in closer, it was all red. And of course, now that if we head back out here, of course, basically what it's saying is, hey, you've actually got rid of that fire rift, and look at that, we've got the normal color back again. Very cool. I like that. Anyway,
it will come back again eventually.
What's that?
So it will come back eventually. It is a daily quest that you can...
Ah, okay. All right. That makes sense. Still, it's a very cool effect that they've actually made it go away, even if it's only temporarily. We like that. Anyhow, that's it. We're way out of time as usual. What do we got to do now? I think what we need to do, Tallahassee, as well, we were talking about this earlier, is we've got to get ourselves into an instance run at some point. We've been a bit slack and we haven't gone through one of them. So perhaps some of our guildies might want to come along with us. Otherwise, maybe we'll try our luck in the Dungeon Finder. But that's something to look forward to in a upcoming episode, folks, because I know you'll be dying to see some of the new runs that we haven't got to, so look forward to that. But in the meantime, of course, that's it from us. Certainly hope you enjoyed that episode, and of course, hope you'll join us in the next one. On behalf of myself, Sambo, the wonderful Tallahassee, who we thank as always, hope you guys are having a great day wherever in the world you are, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Till then, bye-bye.